Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. It is actually 12 minutes past 3 o'clock in the morning as I am doing this because I cannot sleep. But I figured instead of lying in bed doing nothing, I might as well get up and get something done. So I am doing this. And I think also part of the reason why I could not sleep is because I am so anxious that we're going to get another earthquake because early the previous morning at 3:44 a.m. we got a really strong earthquake. It was magnitude 5.2. It was at 3:44 a.m. and I was afraid that at around 3:44 a.m. we are going to have another earthquake, but we did not. Anyway, in my previous video, I showed how I made and assembled my planner pages, my daily planner pages for November 2021, and I also showed the changes that I made on the layout for November compared with the layout I have been using for October. In this video, I'm now going to plan for November. Well, that sounds so grand, but really all I am going to do is I'm going to fill in the daily pages for November that I just made with the information that I already know now. By the way, this is where I put all of my past pages. This has all of my daily and monthly planner pages together with the weekly foldouts starting from the end of June onwards. This already has part of October in it because I archived the pages for each week as I am done using them. I am on the disc-bound system and the paper size I'm using is the A5 Slim. I have a video about this planner as well as a video about how I plan, and I will link those videos in the description box in case you're interested. I'm also going to use my soft lamps in this video because it's 3 a.m. and I am not up to using the super bright lights. Now this planner is super chunky. I am on the 1.75-inch metal expander discs from Happy Planner, and my calendar pages are towards the back of the planner, so the right side of the planner is kind of low when the planner is opened, which is why we have a shadow, as you can see. So to get rid of that shadow, I have to raise the pages up to the same level as the left side of the planner, and this notebook that contains my past pages will not do. So I looked for a different book to put underneath those pages, and what I found is this book. It's The Weekend Novelist, which I have had for many years, but I have never read. It is an instruction book on how to work on your novel only during the weekends, but still be able to finish the entire thing in 1 year. Someday I will get to this, but for now, let us move along with this video. Most of the tasks and things to do for November have already been written here on the monthly spread for November. The information that's on here has been filled out gradually, and all of these have been written on as I find out that I have to do stuff. And that is the same for the other future months. Here is December. Here is January, and so on and so forth. The pages are ready but blank, and I just fill in the information with a pencil as I find out about them or as I decide on what to do and when. I cannot talk today. So I am taking out the monthly pages for November, and then I'm going to put them to the side so I can refer to them the entire time without having to keep flipping the pages. And next I am folding out the tip ends, and these are just the sheets that will contain the tasks and things to be dealt with for each week, because most of the time I don't really know exactly what day I will be dealing with them, but I do know what week it's going to be on. And it's generally easier to plan for the month when these are folded out, as you can see. I also get to the weeks faster this way. Also, the pages for the month is actually split because the final week of November has part of December in it. So I just printed the pages like so that I can archive these pages apart. The pages for December will go to the archive for December, and the pages for November will go to the archive for November. But for now, these pages are together on my planner as I live through the month. By the way, the pencil that I am using is the Tombow Monograph Mechanical Pencil. This is one of the special edition colors. It's called Clear, but it has a white base. It also comes in different colors, and I chose the one with a 0.5 point. I got this from Shopee, and I will link this exact item in the description box. It is also actually a shaker pencil, and I like shaker pencils. They are convenient for my broken right hand. But I think the best feature of this pencil is that it has a retractable eraser that is also refillable. I will have a video of all my pencils from Tombow in my channel soon, so please watch for that. The first information to go in are the bills that are due for the month. On the 14th, I have my Google Drive bill due, and on the 15th, I have the due date for the super small shopping credit that I have, which I actually really like and I make really good use of. And then I remembered that I needed to take out these tiny envelopes that have my side reminder tabs because I need to affix the side tabs to those days when I have due dates for bills, which are paid via e-wallet. Here is the tab for it, which is a small wallet. For the glue, I am using this very nice glue pen. It really works like a pen, but instead of ink, it lays down glue. It works really well if you're gluing down super tiny, narrow things on paper. And by the way, I always start putting the tabs on the topmost part for each week, and later on you will see how they build up and cascade downwards as we go along. On November 2 is going to be my son's schedule for the second dose of his COVID vaccine, and I will be the one to drive him to the vaccination center in our city. And because that is medical related, here is the side reminder tab for that. But below the icon for the stethoscope, I pencil in his name, so I am reminded that that is not about me. On the 8th, it is also going to be our Yaya Miling's second dose for her COVID vaccine, and I will be the one to drive her. So I wrote both of those vaccine-related tasks on the box at the bottom, which is reserved for home matters. I also pencil in her name below the stethoscope icon, and then I glue the tab onto where it should go. And because there is already a tab on the first or topmost spot for that week, I will put the tab on the spot below it. I've also explained how these tabs work and the reason for them in an earlier video, and I will link it down below. But just very briefly, these tabs are for tasks that are not routinary for the day, or they're urgent, or they're crucial, or they cannot be changed, or they require special preparation by me. It's really just to remind me that I have something to prepare for that's not part of the usual. And on the 16th of November, that will be the day when my son will be considered as fully vaccinated against COVID, so we can now start dealing with some of the things that he has to do outside of the house, but we still have to practice the COVID protocols. These are necessary things and necessary tasks that we have been putting off because he has not left the house since the pandemic started. And also on the 21st, that's when Yaya Miling will also be considered as fully vaccinated. These are just very important information to take note of. And I do have a vlog planned for November. It's a driving vlog, and I was planning it for November 1, but I mistakenly wrote it on the page for November 15. That is my brain fog working. That vlog is supposed to take the place of the usual vlogs that I make that is related to the Feast of All Souls, which is annually on November 1 and 2 in my country, where we traditionally go to the cemeteries. That has been canceled for the second year because of the pandemic, but in the place of that usual vlog, I want to put up a driving vlog, which I will film on November 1. I do have older vlogs about that feast day in cemeteries on my channel, and I will link them down below. And I also made a side reminder tab for vlogging days now, because those need to be scheduled. I do not like to hurry when I am filming for a vlog, so my calendar needs to be clear of other things. And also my phone, which I use to film, and my Apple Watch, and my battery packs need to be fully charged at the beginning of the day. And also my dash cam camera in my car has to be erased. The locked videos from that need to be unlocked. So I need to be reminded of that, which is why I need a side reminder tab. And also Jawide is coming with me. He's going to be helping me drive, and that will also be our date together. So I also put in the tab that pertains to him, that is his face. On November 4, that is the cutoff of that small shopping credit line that I mentioned. It's good to take note of the cutoff dates for all bills. And on the next day, I usually check how much is the amount due on the due date, which is November 15, which we have already marked. On the 11th, I'm going to sit in on the online class of my good friend Ray. He is a professor at the University of the Philippines, Visayas, and we were chatting a few days ago, and I said I missed being in class, and he invited me to sit in on his class. It's in college, and of course I said yes right away. And this would be the side reminder tab for anything that requires a video conferencing software or platform. I need to, look decent for the camera. And I am putting this tab on the third slot from the top for that week. And in connection with that, on the 9th, I have to confirm this online class with Ray and actually ask him what time it's going to be. And by the way, I'm using a day on 2 pages. As you can see here, all the planning is done on the right page, and the left page is for tracking. So I will be writing only on the right pages for this video. on the 17th, I think my son can already go ahead and drop by the bank to open a new savings account. He should have done that when he was 18, have his own savings account as an adult, no longer the kiddie account that he has had for years. But he was busy when he turned 18, so we put it off. And then the pandemic happened and he did not leave the house. But because by this time he's already fully vaccinated against COVID, this is something that he can do and I can go with him. After all of these have been done, on the 18th, I can take him in for his pneumonia vaccine. He has been vaccinated for pneumonia as a child. He is actually fully vaccinated for everything as a child, but his doctor said because times are changing, we can bring him in for an adult pneumonia vaccine, which should last for the rest of his life. I myself have had that vaccine in 2014, and I believe that that vaccine is the reason why when I got COVID in 2020, I had only very mild symptoms. And so if we are going to get my son vaccinated for pneumonia on the 18th, I have to inform his father of it probably on the 15th because his father will be the one spending for it. On the 29th, I am due for a haircut with my barber. I get a haircut every 3 weeks. My hair grows so fast. I do have a video about my first 2 haircuts with him on my channel, and I will link it down below. I really like the simple, no fuss, no drama approach of having a barber cut my hair. And if I was going to have a haircut on the 29th, that means I also need to have a haircut on the 8th, and those 2 days are 3 weeks apart. Can you now see how the side reminder tabs are beginning to cascade downwards for each day of the week? On the first week of November, I need to check the Hobonichi website to see if the cover on cover I wanted is back in stock or if it isn't. If Hobonichi has already posted exactly what day it's going to be available. I don't have to do that task on any specific day, it just has to be on that week. So I'm writing it down on the foldout for that week. The cover and cover I want actually will be back in stock in late November according to Hobonichi, so I am also writing down that same task on the weekly foldout for a much later week, just to be sure that I don't miss out on updates. Can you guess what cover on cover I want from Hobonichi this year? It's the one that went out of stock right on the first day, and there was Hobonichi initially announced that there will be no restocks, but there was such a big clamor for it that Hobonichi announced that they will restock it in late November. On the second week of November, I have to decide on my schedule for getting my permanent denture. I had a tooth taken out around the end of September, and I need to wait at least 4 weeks before getting a fitting for the permanent denture. But I do remember that last time I got permanent dentures for a different tooth, I waited 6 weeks and the fit was so perfect because the gums have normalized, the bone has grown a little, so that's the timeline that I am basing it on. And this reminded me that on Monday, October 25, I have to call the dental assistant and inform her of this matter. I have also decided to do some self-care on November 2 by putting a sheet mask on. And this is my side reminder tab for self-care. It's a teeny tiny hand mirror. I've also decided that every Tuesday will be my self-care day for the month of November, so I am going to schedule those. When I have a sheet mask on, I usually read something or watch something just for me, not the required readings for my research or the required videos for research. I just read something or watch something that I want to enjoy for myself, which is part of my self-care routine every week. It's not set in stone, but for November, I have decided that it will be every Tuesday. And I'm also being careful to check where I need to put that tab on so that it will cascade downwards on the edge of the pages for each week so that none of the tabs will be covering up any of the other tabs on the pages for the week are closed. I'm still able to see more or less what I have going for that week. Each side tab has a black bar at the left side, which is visible when I'm on the page that the tab is pertaining to, but when I'm on a different page that the tab isn't on, I can still see the tab, but I don't see the black bar, so I know that the tab is not for that day. This has worked so well for me over the years, and I will actually link on the description box the very first video I have ever made about these tabs. The next tabs to go on are these ones that pertain to my weekly investment. This is just the letter K. Last October, they were set for every Wednesday, but for November, they are set for every Saturday. So I just put those tabs on the Saturday pages for now to literally just mark the day so that I will not forget. But because that schedule might change at any time during the month, I am using my Kuretake two-way glue, which can glue paper in two different ways. Once you lay it down, it's a light blue color, and that forms a permanent bond. If you paste the papers together when the glue is blue, that's not removable. But if you wait a bit until the glue becomes clear, that is the temporary bond. It's repositionable. So I'm using this glue and waiting for the glue to become clear so that I can transfer these tabs to a different day in case the schedule for the investments change. But for now, it's going to be a Saturday. I'm just leaving those tabs there to dry, and for the meantime, I am moving along. I am also going to put down these semi-transparent sticky notes on each of the pages in which I have to have an investment, which is every Saturday. And that sticky note is where I write down the exact amount to invest. The sticky notes are a little bit long for the area, so I'm just snipping off the excess. I think I mentioned earlier in this video that I have a video about how I plan on my channel, and it will be linked down below. But let me also just mention that in this right page where all of the planning is done, I have boxes to mark the areas that relate to the different categories of my life that I have to deal with every single day. I have an area for personal tasks, for tasks related to work and business, an area for my YouTube channel, an area for my ongoing graduate thesis research, and so on and so forth. On the 20th, I need to withdraw part of my earnings from the investment so I can pay my sister what I owe her. And because withdrawals actually take 14 days to be credited to my account, I'm also writing in that information that on the proper day on the December monthly pages. So on that particular day, specifically on the 4th of December, that amount should already be in my account so I can transfer it to my sister. And I do have some monthly goals written on here in the monthly pages for November. And one of the goals was to submit to Clarion West, which is an international writing fellowship. But I checked the website for Clarion West, and they will be open to applications starting on December, so that task will now be moved. But I can use November to prepare for the submission. The specific tasks under that bigger goal will be scheduled later on. At this point, the Kuretake two-way glue has already dried on those tabs for investment that I left out to dry some minutes ago, and I can now put them on their proper places. Again, I'm being very careful that all of these tabs go on the right slot so that no tabs will cover up any of the other tabs. Here I realized that I stuck this particular tab for self-care on the wrong spot. There's already a tab on the top slot for that week, so that tab is covering this self-care tab. So I peeled it off as carefully as I can. I used the permanent glue here, not the kuretake, and that permanent glue leaves a sticky residue. Here is how I fix that. I take a piece of scrap paper and I cut out a tiny piece of that paper, which should be the same height of the tab. So I use the discarded tab as a template for cutting. And then I paste that piece of paper on the area that I want to cover up the sticky of. And then I just go ahead and then trim off the excess. This covers up the sticky. And that spot now looks like a normal spot with no tab on it, just like nothing happened. And then I take a new tab and then paste it onto where it should have been pasted in the first place. And then I just continued with the pasting of the tabs for the investment. do have a section in my planner called Money Projects. It's for projects that I go into just for the money and for no other reason. This investment thing is part of that section. So I just took out the sheet that has my investment schedules on it so I can copy the amounts that I need to invest each week. I put it aside so I can look at it as I fill in my planner pages. To write on the semi-transparent sticky notes, I'm using this Faber-Castell fine point marker in black. The sticky note is plastic and ballpoint will not work on it, and neither will a pencil. So I just go ahead and write down the amounts I need to invest each week. For the parts with a question mark, that's a tentative amount. It can be slightly bigger or slightly smaller when the actual day comes. And then when I'm done, I just put the guide sheet back into the section for money projects. I have also decided to make my daily pages for December sometime during the second week of November, so I wrote it down on the fold-out for that week. I also checked my list of YouTube videos planned to see if there are any videos that I can tentatively schedule already for November, and it turns out that I also wrote down an additional video idea, but I did not schedule any other videos for November aside from that driving vlog that I mentioned earlier. Now, I did prepare a cold drink to have while planning for November, but I have totally forgotten all about it. I was so engrossed in the task. But this is my favorite tea, which I always prepare as an iced tea. This is the Ahmad lemon and lime twist. It's black tea that's flavored. And what I do is I steep 2 bags in half a cup of hot water for about 5 minutes, and then I transfer everything into this tall tumbler and then add super cold water and ice cubes. I do drink a lot of this, which is why I have added the tracking of all of my liquid intake for the months of November, as you can see here. And then at this point, I realized that there was nothing more that I could write down on these daily pages, so I decided to wrap it up. I put the monthly pages for November back on the discs, and then I folded all of the weekly task sheets back in. I also put those tiny envelopes that hold the side reminder tabs back into the discs as well. And I also put that thin stack of sticky notes back into the section for money projects where I keep them. And I also found an unused tab flying around, and I put it back inside the envelope where it should go. And here is a final look at the side reminder tabs and how they cascade down the edge of the daily pages. Of course, as I go along, living my life and finding out more and decide on more specific things for more specific days, I will write those down on my planner pages and also put in more tabs as needed. But for now, this will do. Thank you so much for keeping me company. I hope you like this slightly different format. I did not cut the video, and I just put in my voiceovers when they were appropriate, and then I put in some music for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.